lungs, J, yes, liver, kidney, okay. So now what we'll try to do is, we'll try to start understanding Cinchona a little further. So we discussed the sphere of action, and we spoke to you about the elements from the physical appearance, how exactly a Cinchona person looks. And then of course we spoke of few characteristic symptoms. Okay. Now what I'm trying to do here in the next few minutes is, we'll try to understand the mind of Cinchona. For that, I had shared a small case in the last class. Case of a boy who is some 12-13 years old boy, okay, and who had this strong fear. And what was that fear? Fear of hen. Very good. That was one point, fear of hen. Come. He narrates? Okay, good. He writes poetry. Okay, he writes poetry, he writes poems, good. Then, he had some skin problems, very good, correct. He had some skin eczema. I told you very bad over the gluteal region and even over his palm. Cracks, and he can't hold his pen right. Very painful, very difficult. So he had eczema, good. Case of eczema, wherein the mind part, what we were trying to understand is, he was very afraid of hen. And he had this gifted thing that he can narrate. Okay, he can narrate poems. Okay. Now again, I was trying to tell you, it's a tricky thing, and when we take this in homeopathy, is also very important. And these narrations, this poetry, when we take in homeopathy, what you need to realize is, this is something which comes spontaneously. So tomorrow if you have to take this rubric or take this symptom in practice, they are the people, or they are the kids who can just talk. You narrate something, you tell something, and they start off. We had a lady, we were treating her for vitiligo. Vitiligo. So she had this habit of writing poems, writing poetry. Now how do you confirm? We ask her, narrate. And I'll just tell you I can't narrate the entire poem what she told, but I can just give you the gist of it. See, what she was trying to tell you is, I told her just narrate a poem. Then she immediately was trying to tell about the sorrow that she is going through, having vitiligo, how people are reacting, and I have come to you. If you treat me, you are my God. This in few seconds, no? So nicely in Kannada, some 10-12 lines, prasadalli, padyadalli. We didn't give her time, I'm giving you half an hour, you see your mobile, go to Google, and then write nothing. Just spontaneously she told how the feelings that I am suffering, how the society is looking at me, and if you treat me, if you help me, how thankful I will be to you. So beautifully she wrote. And when you have people writing spontaneously, fine, there you can take this. Okay? We'll see what else Cinchona has in the mind part, the mentals of Cinchona. So to start with, I'll come back to that case a little later. To start with, Cinchona is a patient who is very good. He is very irritable. Okay? Mentally is irritable, and this irritability in Cinchona is seen more on waking. Majority of you should be having this symptom, no? When you are told you are getting late, you get a little irritated. It's more in Cinchona, especially on waking, and that too in children. Okay, they feel irritated. Irritability is also associated with weakness. So mentally, Cinchona is irritable, and this irritability in Cinchona will come on waking, and more so it is seen in children, and it is also associated with weakness. This is first point. See, not only irritability, they are also very frightful, anxious, nervous kind of people. Nervous people, okay? So nervousness, anxiety, all those things. And now what you also have to understand in Cinchona, what is it? Okay, must be these eyes are giving a different emotion. But what I want you to understand is, there are so many people, it could be your friends, or you should have seen somebody who who are very, very, they're very sensitive. And with them when you talk, you are very careful. Why are you careful? Because anything you talk, they always take it in a negative way. Yes or no? So there are people, though they don't come with, handle with care, then there are so many people like, whom, especially when you are having this comic sense, whom you make fun, you can't make fun of them because they take it very seriously. So these are the set of patients are set of people who get offended very easily. They get offended very easily. You understand the meaning of getting offended? Everything they take it too personal. You can't make fun, okay? You can't talk a little more. You'll have to be very, very careful when you're talking. So such kind of people, who take things too personal, things to their heart, such kind of people, we call them as people who get offended very easily. Synchona is one of the remedies. You got plenty of remedies. One remedy who can get offended very easily is Synchona. So not only they're getting offended very easily, they're also very sensitive. This will tell us about the sensitivity. Yes or no? It's a very sensitive flower. I don't know how many of you have seen this. At least friends who have come from rural areas. This is a flower we all used to play. Uff andre, it will all blow into the air. Fine. Can you do this with every flower? Do you think all the petals will just fly off? This is getting flown away in the air because it is sensitive. Synchona is a sensitive constitution, is a sensitive person. What is Synchona sensitive to? You're getting the mind of Synchona? What is it we started with? Yes, very good. Irritable. Irritability yavaga? On waking and more in children. And they're very nervous. Very good. That point you have covered. And then we spoke of they're getting offended very easily. We are also trying to understand they're sensitive. Sensitivity could be for a lot of things. Few of them might be sensitive to touch. Few of them might be sensitive to sound. Okay, few of them might be sensitive to odor, smell. Somewhere there is smell coming and you close your nose. And few of them might be sensitive to emotional sensitivity. Somebody is scolding, somebody scolds you and you feel very bad. And somebody is criticizing you, last class Synchona madide, ashtu odakagalva, blah blah blah, tell, and you feel very sad, you feel very bad. Sensitivity, there are different remedies. Sensitivity, there are different remedies, and each remedy is sensitive for a different reason. Okay? As you grow, we'll talk of other parts, sensitive to criticism, sensitive to rudeness, sensitive to scolding. Like for example, when we scold somebody, do you think all of them will feel bad? Don't tell me yes. Not all of them will feel bad. Each of your reactions might be different. So then, who is that person who is sensitive? For example, when we scold somebody and they feel so bad, sir, they come back and say, sir, why did you scold? For example, if they are at fault, out of sincerity, they come back and they say, sorry sir, I shouldn't have done, etc., etc. But do you think all of you will feel bad? Hey, you just scolded. In school, in class, I was punished. Avagle bejar ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡಿಲ್ಲ. ಬೆಂಚ್ ಮೇಲೆ ನಿಲ್ಸಿದ್ರು, ಆವಾಗಲೇ ಬೇಜಾರು ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡಿಲ್ಲ, ನೀನೇನೋ ಒಂದೆರಡು ಮಾತು ಹೇಳ್ಬಿಟ್ಟೆ ನೀನು ನನಗೇನು ಫೀಲ್ ಆಗ್ಬಿಡುತ್ತಾ? ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ ಈಸ್ ವಾಟ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಕ್ಟ್ಲಿ ಆಪೋಸಿಟ್. ದೇ ಆರ್ ಹಾರ್ಡ್ ಹಾರ್ಟೆಡ್ ಪೀಪಲ್. ಎಷ್ಟು ಉಗಿರಿ ಬೇಜಾರಿಲ್ಲ. ದೇ ವಿಲ್ ನಾಟ್ ಕಮ್ ಅಂಡರ್ Synchona. Synchona is a very sensitive constitution. Now we'll also try to understand what is Synchona sensitive to. Synchona is sensitive to noise. They cannot bear noise. Now again, why I insisted that you should know the sphere of action, you should know the ailments from, you should know the characteristic symptom, you can start linking. This sensitivity we already saw. It acts on nerves and it will cause sensitivity. Okay? We will come back. The sensitive, and this sensitivity to noise is again more prominent in Synchona. Is it pregnancy na? Bere anadrona? Pregnancy, but this is more of labor. The progression of pregnancy. Fine. This lady is in labor, so this sensitive to noise in Synchona is more during labor. This is again a beautiful area that you have to understand. When you are posted to the OBG postings, you will get to see different women in labor with different reactions. Okay, I mean, I often share this, we were posted in KC General Hospital, and we had the privilege of, attending, conducting labor, conducting deliveries. So when you see the mothers on the labor, bed, in the labor ward, you will see different women reacting in different way. Fine. One state level goes, I mean, there can be different people who can't, there are women who can't bear pain, they keep shouting, they keep yelling. One lady, she was scolding her husband. I can't forget this, though it happened in 1994. I remember one, lady coming from the some slum area near KC General Hospital, and that day, in pain, she blasted him. I mean, what she was trying to tell him is, all because of you I am suffering. So, don't worry, just relax, okay. So what I was just trying to tell you is, no, we'll get back. See, I mean, I keep telling your third year and final year students who go to the labor ward in Boring Hospital, and there are sincere students who come back and tell, sir, what we have learnt in Materia Medica, we see in the labor ward. We have women shouting, we have women screaming, fine, and the act that they do with pain, fine, can help us identify different constitutions, okay? And probably if you give the right remedy, it can ease the pain, okay? Or it can not ease the pain, it can ease the labor. Pain stopping will not serve the purpose. Yes or no? Alla, pain stop adre labor stop agubidutte. It might ease labor, okay? So Synchona, for example, if you keep walking in the labor ward and, for example, next bed, lady is shouting, screaming, and this lady is not able to bear. Not out of fear. You should also try to understand, they may not bear, like for example, a first time who is pregnant and who is in the labor ward, she might be seeing the other lady shouting, and she might feel afraid. Oh, pains will be so bad. Oh, next it is my turn. So I will have so much of pain. It's better I don't have pain. See, I'm not talking of fear. Synchona is not having fear. Synchona is sensitive to noise. Sensitive to noise. And sensitive to noise during labor is what you need to remember. Synchona. Okay? So moving further, what else we have in Synchona? They are sensitive, they get offended very easily, and they are the people who will not like consolation. Who will not like consolation. They will not like consolation. What is this consolation, Andre? Somebody trying to tell them or try to soothe them or talk to them, console them. This Synchona will not like. Okay? There are so many people who cry so that somebody comes close and they say it's okay, fine. And Synchona is not a person who will like somebody consoling them. Okay? So consolation, aggravation, and basically Synchona is a person who is more up to himself. Very good. He is up to himself, and as rightly said by your friend, is an introverted person. Who is an introverted person? A person who will not open up, who will not speak much, who will not start a conversation. And for a homeopath, the toughest patient to deal with is an introvert. Okay? Fine? But don't worry. For us, he being introvert is also a symptom. You getting my point? He not talking. For others, matartala antira. But for us, yeah, he is an introvert. How much ever you keep blasting, he will not speak. That itself can be a symptom. So Synchona has one such remedies who are introverted. Okay? And if you just look at him, Synchona is again a person who has got a good flair, not only with writing, he is also very good in artwork, painting. Artistic people. You getting my point? Artistic people, artistic. Synchona is one of the remedy. You have some 10 to 12 remedies in our Materia Medica. Synchona is one. artistic. Again, what each of them paint, what each of them draw also is important. Okay? Like for example, we had a very great painter, he's no more, don't take the name with due respects. So he used to do more of modern art. Fine? And this art is painting, none of you will understand. Fine? Your paintings, what do? You draw nature, you draw animals, you draw violence. Fine? There are artists who draw nude pictures, very beautiful nude pictures they draw. ಅವನು ಅದೇ ಕೆಲಸ, ಅವನು ಸೀನರಿ ಬರೆಯೋದಂದ್ರೆ ಬರಲ್ಲ ಅವನಿಗೆ. ಆಯ್ತಾ? see, now what each of them draw will also try to tell you about their constitution. Okay? So Synchona is also artistic, and I was also trying to tell you about this very important point, that they are very good at writing. They are very good at writing poems. And majority of the times, Synchona poems will be more to do with nature. More to do with nature. You have natramure, you have stramonium, you have got agaricus, you got many other remedies, antimcrude, you got many remedies which also makes verses, who also speaks in a poetic way. But China is more to do with nature. Okay. You also have remedies like agaricus, stramonium, they can be more of a revolutionary. Fine? Like, people before going to strike and all, they sing, like for example, these Naxalites, you have got, I don't know how many of you have heard of, there are poets who follow Naxalism and all those things. Those poems, those poetries, if you listen, you also feel like joining that movement. It is very provocative thing, they provoke you. What are you doing, sitting and nodding your head in Synchona class? Come, fight with us. Something, it's very, very provocative. So agaricus, stramonium, they can be more of that. Okay? And dardbari, like, emotional. Fine? Dard, pain, painful. Painful means not this pain here. And there are people who tell shairis, who write poems which are all related to your, disappointed in love, some sadness, some breakup, some divorce, and then you become a poet and you start writing. Fine? They are all different. They are all more of natrums, natramure, antimonium crudum, so especially after love disappointment. Okay? So each remedy. Now this writing poems, do remember, tomorrow when you grow up, in your repertory, they will not give us writing poems and all. This is the thing you need to remember. Versus makes. Versus makes means people who write or people who talk in a poetic way. Okay? Versus makes. Now, this is about the fear of Synchona, which I have already tried to give you a small clue about. They have got fear, and what is this fear? Synchona has fear of what? Hen, very good. In general, like, Synchona has fear of dogs, and more than dogs, what you see here. Very good. Yeah, right. Domestic animals. The only remedy in your Materia Medica which has got fear of domestic animals. Domestic animals. I need not tell you what exactly I mean by domestic animal, you all know. But then, what is generally, for example, all these things that you see here, they have got fear of domestic animals, cow, dog, cat, rabbit, hen. Whatever. So this is also a thing you will have to remember. Only 3 remedies, and Synchona is one of the remedy. Synchona is one of the remedy. So fear of what? Hen, fear of domestic animals, and fear of dogs. Fear of dogs. These are few important fears. And they do feel dull in the morning, dull on waking. Okay? And they also have an impulse. They also have this impulse to kill. They have got this impulse to kill. So, impulse to kill or desire to kill whom? The loved ones. And what did you see in Synchona's hand? Knife, Allah. On seeing knife, they get this impulse or they get this desire. desire to kill her or his beloved ones. It's only an impulse. They may not kill. Fine, it's only an impulse. Sir, when I see a knife, I feel like killing. Which is other remedy? Nimma second syllabus alida. Is alumina over? No, don't worry. When alumina is done, please do try to recall Synchona. Alumina also has this, on seeing knife. Okay? Now what is there in alumina is, on seeing knife, they feel like killing themselves. Okay? This is suicide. This is suicide. China and you also have platina. On seeing knife, they feel like killing others. That is homicide. Okay? So here, this is more of homicide, and in alumina it is more of suicide. On seeing knife. Okay? On seeing knife. And another very important thing you also have here is, in Synchona, or Synchona also has suicidal thoughts. Synchona also has suicidal thoughts. But why do they have suicidal thoughts? Is out of hopelessness. There is no hope in life. Or I am suffering from disease, I am not getting cured, so there is no hope. So what should I do? Let me end my life. But Synchona, what is characteristic is, they are people who have got fear of death. And they don't have courage to commit suicide. Sahibe kansate. But have you any time committed, or have you any time tried? Hey, no, sir. It's a very scary thing. It's only a thought, but you will never attempt. You will never attempt. So, suicidal thoughts, but lacks courage is Synchona. Many remedies will come as you start studying. Any other remedies that you can think of which has got suicidal thoughts? From the remedies that are already over? We spoke of Drosera. How was it in Drosera? Very good. Drosera was drowning. Good. Any other remedies? How is it in arsenic? See what happens in aconite? More than fear of death. What will aconite patient do? What will aconite patient tell? Very good. Aconite patient says what? He predicts the time of death. And he says, don't call doctor. It is useless. Because 11 o'clock I am going to die. What is use of calling doctor? Okay? That is aconite. Or you also have arsenic amal, who says, I am going to die at 11, call everybody. Fine? You also have that in aconite. I am going to die at 11 o'clock. So call my mother, my uncle, my aunt. Yara idara dura ellanu karadbidi. 11 gantege nanu satu hogtene. But will he die? No. It's only that feeling. Okay? So suicidal thoughts, lacking courage, and see, this is more of indifference. Indifference during chill stage of fever. I'll explain this. Now what is indifference? Being, very good, being indifferent. Being indifferent means not caring. Not caring. Okay? Fine. For example, some person who has always been very caring suddenly stops caring, then what is the first thing that you will tell? Why is this man acting so indifferent? Yeah, he has changed, correct. That is a good observation. But the English word that we use there is, why is he acting so indifferent today? Fine. So indifference means a person not caring. And here in Synchona, this indifference is mainly seen during chill stage of fever. During chill stage of fever. Okay? Any questions at this stage? Anything you would like to ask? Okay. So quickly, what were the mind symptoms of Synchona? See, we started with irritability and you saw till suicidal thoughts. There was a lot of variation. Irritability, nervousness, irritable on waking, sensitive to noise, especially during labor. They are the kind of people who get offended very easily. They get hurt very easily. They are very sensitive people. And somebody consoling they will not like. Very artistic, and they are introverted, versus mix. Okay, lot of fears we saw, dullness we saw, and in the end we also had that impulse to kill others. and you will also have suicidal thoughts. But he lacks courage. That's important. But he lacks courage. Good, correct. You also have few more remedies. As and when it happens, you will try to understand. But do remember Synchona. Nux ide, Aram ide, Argentum ide. Beautiful remedies. We'll take it up slowly. For second years, yes. Any questions? Synchona mind. Ellargo. Clear? Okay. Now, what we'll try to do next is, we'll try to understand the particular symptoms of Synchona. Now, what do you understand by particular symptom? Symptom pertaining to a part. So from head to toe, we will try to understand which part Synchona acts and what it does. And a simple formula for you to understand particular symptoms will be like, you will have to remember both these things, very, very important, and the characteristic symptoms. Okay? So, sphere of action, CNS, ear, eye, GA, lungs, kidneys, GIT ಆಯಿತು, blood, yes, male and female genital, and of course skin. What were the ailments? Yes, good. Loss of vital fluids. Fruits, correct. Tea. ಅದು aversion. No problem. ಏನು ಅದೇನು ಆ ಥರ ತಲೆ ಬಗ್ಗಿಸ್ಕೊಳಂಥದ್ದೇನು ತಪ್ಪು ಮಾಡಿಲ್ಲ ನೀವು. ಏನೇನಾಯಿತು? ಟೀ ಆಯಿತು, ಕಾಫಿ ಅವರ್ಷನ್ ಇಷ್ಟ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ. ಟೀ ಆಯಿತು, ಫ್ರೂಟ್ಸ್ ಆಯಿತು, ಲಾಸ್ ಆಫ್ ವೈಟಲ್ ಫ್ಲೂಯಿಡ್ಸ್ ಆಯಿತು, ಬಿಯರ್, ಓಕೆ, ಬಿಯರ್ ಅದೇ ದಟ್ ಆಲ್ ಕಮ್ ಅಂಡರ್ ಲಾಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಫ್ಲೂಯಿಡ್ಸ್. ದೆನ್ ಬ್ಯಾಡ್ ಎಫೆಕ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಆಲ್ಕೋಹಾಲ್, ಮರ್ಕ್ಯೂರಿ, abuse of mercury. Okay, what were the characteristic symptoms? What was characteristic? Don't look back. Very good. Periodicity, correct. Don't look and answer. Fine. Good. Periodicity. It came. Yes, it's a remedy for flatulence. Yen remedy ada? Very good. Trios. Hudugro. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಎರಡಾಯ್ತು, ಅವ್ರು ಎರಡು ಹೇಳೋದು ನಿಮ್ಮ ಕಡೆಯಿಂದ. ಸೆನ್ಸಿಟಿವ್ ಟು ಟಚ್, ನಾನು ನಿಮ್ಮ ಕಡೆ ನೋಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ, ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಏನ? ಓಕೆ, ದೇರ್ ಈಸ್ ವೀಕ್ನೆಸ್, ಡೆಬಿಲಿಟಿ, ಗುಡ್. ಸೆಕ್ಷುವಲ್ ವೀಕ್ನೆಸ್ಸು, ಸ್ಪೇರ್ ಆಫ್ ಆಕ್ಷನ್, ನೋ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್. ಏನೋ ವೀಕ್ನೆಸ್, ಗುಡ್. ಡೆಬಿಲಿಟಿ ಬೇರೆ ಏನಪ್ಪ? ಡೈರಿಯಾ, ಓಕೆ. ಲಾಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಫ್ಲೂಯಿಡ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲ, ಅದು ಬಂತು, ಗುಡ್. ಕ್ಯಾರೆಕ್ಟರಿಸ್ಟಿಕ್ ಸಿಂಪ್ಟಮ್ಸ್ ಏನು? ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಹೆಮೊರೇಜಿಕ್ ರೆಮಿಡಿ. Hemorrhage, bleeding, hemorrhagic remedy. See, if you understand the sphere of action, the ailments, the characteristic symptoms, then we can start building the particular symptoms. We need not by heart. You getting my point? Okay. So now we'll try to understand. Now tell me, what do you expect under head in Synchona? Very good. There is headache. Good. Okay. Now headache. Fine. Okay. What is the sensation Synchona has? ತಲೆನೋವು ಬಂದಾಗ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಏನು ಅನ್ಸುತ್ತೆ? See, in Synchona they have a sensation as if head would burst. Balloon blast, balloon burst. Blast bomb ಆಗೋದು ಅಲ್ಲ? Fine. So headache ಇದೆ Synchonaದಲ್ಲಿ, and that headache they have a feeling. ಏನಂದೆ ನಾನು? ಏನು ಸಿಂಪ್ಟಮ್ ಅದು? ಸೆನ್ಸೇಷನ್ ಏನು ಸಿಂಪ್ಟಮು? ಬರ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಆಯ್ತಾ? ದೆನ್ ವೆರಿ ಗುಡ್. ಜೋರಾಗಿ ಏನದ? ಸಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟಿವ್, ಬ್ಯೂಟಿಫುಲ್, ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್. ಸಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟಿವ್ ಸಿಂಪ್ಟಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲೇನು? ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ವಾಟ್ ಎ ಪೇಷಂಟ್ ಫೀಲ್ಸ್. ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಯು ಫೀಲ್? ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಬರ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿಲ್ಲ, ಆಗಲ್ಲ, ಅದು ಆಗೋ ಥರ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಅನ್ಸತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಹೆಡ್ ಸೆನ್ಸೇಷನ್, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ವಿ ಯೂಸ್ ದಿ ವರ್ಡ್ sensation. Anywhere the word sensation comes, you should think of subjective. So headache as if head would burst is the first thing. And ಯಾರೋ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಫ್ರೆಂಡ್ ಕರೆಕ್ಟಾಗಿ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರು, ಇದೇನಾಯ್ತು? ಓಕೆ. Now this headache in Synchona is aggravated by touch. ಬಿಸಿಲಿಗೆ ಹೋದರೆ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. Loss of fluids will aggravate. And headaches in Synchona are periodical. Fine. We spoke that under characteristic symptoms. Periodicity. Headaches also, which will come periodically. Okay. And headache is better by hard pressure. Remember, Synchona is sensitive. Okay, for example, touch aggravates, but at the same time, pressure ameliorates. Tale muttudre taleno ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. But when somebody gives them a hard pressure, they feel nice. So this is what you have to remember under head. Now what was there under head? Yenenittu? Headache. What is the sensation? As if head would burst. And when is it more? Touch, loss of fluid, sun. And when is it better? Amelioration, heart pressure. And it is also periodical. Okay. Now what you have in Synchona under ice? Forget it. I mean, here has come. Here ice will come a little later. They have very good hardness of hearing. Why hardness of hearing? Very good. You go back to the sphere of action. Synchona acts on the auditory nerve and it will cause hearing problems, deafness. Okay. Hardness of hearing itto. Now what is this? Correct. Louder. What is this? Yes, good. Sensitive to light. Photophobia. Synchona is also a very good remedy for photophobia. Not only photophobia, one more important thing I want you to understand. Can you make out any difference? Only concentrate the eye part. I don't know how visible the image is, but what you see here is, can you make out something here? The pupils in this particular image, it is dilated. Okay? So in Synchona, you'll have dilated pupils. In Synchona, you'll have dilated pupils. So two things in eyes, one photophobia, ಇನ್ನೊಂದು dilated pupils. Okay. Now under ears, one more important thing you see here is another. See, more than sensitivity to noise, they are hearing noises. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಗಂಟೆ ಇದೆ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ honey bees ಇದೆ, fine. So they are hearing. This is what we call it as, ಯಾರ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು, correct, tinnitus. So you start hearing noises, tinnitus. So here two things you will be remembering. ಒಂದು hardness of hearing, ಎರಡನೇದು tinnitus. Good. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆಯಾ? So we started with head, we are going in the anatomical order. Head, we spoke of eyes, we spoke of ears. Next we will be talking of face. What do you expect in Synchona's face? Use your common sense. Very good. Yarada? Very good. Dull, other than dull. Very good. Pale, good, beautiful. I don't know what made you think of these words, but right words. Dull. Somebody said pale there. Why is it pale in Synchona? Loss of fluids. Very good. Correct. Anemia. Under blood it will cause good. Pale. Somebody said dull. Because of anemia, there is dullness. When you got anemia, you can't be very active. Face looks dull. So dull and pale face, ಒಂದು. Can you think of something else in Synchona? Very good. ಯಾರದು? Correct. Good. Yes. Trigeminal neuralgia. Good. You getting my point?
Yes, sir.
You still feel materia medica is difficult?
No, sir.
Fine. The only thing you need to do here is apply. And if you don't apply, if Synchona is taught to you in a different manner, then yes, material will be difficult. But if you understand Synchona systematically, face ಏನಿದೆ, ಏನೇನೋ ಇದೆ, but Synchona ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ? On the trigeminal nerve. What did I tell you on the sphere of action? Sir, neuralgia. ಈಗ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಏನು ಬಂತು? Go to the characteristic symptom. ನ್ಯೂರಾಲ್ಜಿಯಾದಲ್ಲಿ Synchona ಸ್ಪೆಷಲ್ ಏನು? What is special in Synchona? One word, periodical. Neuralgia comes once in 2 days or once in a week. ಪ್ರತಿ ವಾರ ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಸರ್, ಪ್ರತಿ ವಾರ. That is Synchona. Okay? So face ಅಲ್ಲಿ, other than pale, dull, you have trigeminal neuralgia and neuralgia which comes every, periodical. Good. You limit to periodical. We'll continue further. Now we are talking of nose. Nose ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗ್ಬೋದು? Very good. Bleeding. Yeah, we'll freeze that answer. Good. Bleeding. Anything else? ಹುಡುಗರು nose ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬೇರೆ ಏನಾಗ್ಬೋದು? Bleeding they have told. ಏನೇನಾ? Very good. ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ? Very good. Where did you learn that? Ailments from. You are getting the link? Unless you don't understand the previous, you will not move further. So that's the first image I got for you. He has got headache. What is bringing headache in Synchona? Checked Koreza. He had cold. He took some Sinares, something. Cold is gone. What happened after cold? Sir, bari lag raha hai, sir, dard ho raha hai, headache. So there you can think of Synchona. Rightly said by some of your friends, checked Koreza. Checked Koreza causing headaches. And now you know the type of headache. They feel as if very good, as if it would burst. Okay? Yeah, this is what I was trying to tell you. This gentleman has got cold. It has been treated, and then he lands up with headache. Okay? See, not only checked Koreza, one more very important thing you can also think of here in Synchona is, what is this girl doing? Interpret this image. Yes, very good smell. Do you smell like this? Why is she smelling like that? Think. See, take it calm, relax, think. Huh? Very good. ಏನಂದ್ರೆ ಕರೆಕ್ಟು. ಸಿ ಇನ್ನೊಂದೇನು ಗೊತ್ತಾ, ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಹೇಳೋದು ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲ. ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಹೇಳಿದಾಗ ನಾನು ಕೇಳಿದಾಗ ವಾಪಸ್ ಹೇಳ್ಬೇಕು, ಕಣ್ಣಲ್ಲಿ ಕಣ್ಣಿಟ್ಟು ನೋಡಿ ಹೇಳ್ಬೇಕು. ನನಗೆ ಭಯ ಆಗಬೇಕು, ಏನೋ ಹುಡುಗಿ ಭಯ ಬೀಳಿಸ್ತಾಳ ಅಂತ. ನಾನು ವಾಪಸ್ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಕೇಳಿದಾಗ ನೀವು ಸರ್ ನಾನಲ್ಲ ಅವರು ಇವರು ಆ ಫೀಲಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ಕೊಡಬೇಡಿ. ಅಬ್ಸಲ್ಯೂಟ್ಲಿ ರೈಟ್. ವಾಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಇಟ್? ನಾವು ಒಂದು ಹೂ ವಾಸನೆ ಹಿಂಗೆ ನೋಡ್ತೀವ, ನೋಡ್ಬೋದು. ಯಾವಾಗ ನೋಡ್ತೀವಿ? ಒಂದು ನಮಗೆ ಸ್ಮೆಲ್ಲೇ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಇನ್ನೊಂದೇನು ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ನು? ಇನ್ನೊಂದೇನು ಸಾರ್ ಆ ಸ್ಮೆಲ್ ಅಂದರೆ ನನಗೆ ತುಂಬ ಇಷ್ಟ ಸಾರ್. ಎಸ್ ಆರ್ ನೋ? You might like it too much and you don't want it to go anywhere, and you want to go deep in and you want to take everything, or you are not smelling only. But in Synchona what is happening is it is exactly opposite. What is exactly opposite? That the smell is very sharp. Now forget that image. I brought it because it's an afternoon class. At least we can have some entertainment. Now what is important for you in Synchona? Smell is sharp. What do you understand when I use the word sharp smell? In ನಿಮ್ಮ ಬುಕ್ಸಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ಮೆಲ್ ಅಕ್ಯೂಟ್ ಅಂತ ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ. ನಿಮ್ಮ ಬುಕ್ಕಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ? ಸ್ಮೆಲ್ ಅಕ್ಯೂಟ್ ಅಂತ ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಏನು ಅಕ್ಯೂಟ್ ಅಂದರೆ? ಶಾರ್ಪ್ ಅಂದರೆ ಏನು? ಹಾಂ, ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಸ್ಮೆಲ್ ಇಟ್ ಈವನ್ ಇಫ್ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಅಟ್ ಸಮ್ ಡಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್. 3-4 ಮನೆ ಆ ಕಡೆ something is being cooked and you are sitting in your house and you are telling, ma, in house number 624 they are cooking this. Hey, ವಾಸನೆ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ ಕಣೆ ನನಗೆ ಅಂದರೆ ನನಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತು, ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಕನ್ಫರ್ಮ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊ, ಆಂಟಿಗೆ ಫೋನ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಕೇಳು. ಯು ಗೆಟಿಂಗ್ ಮೈ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್? ಸೊ ಇನ್ Synchona this smell is very sharp. There are similarly people with sharp vision. What do you understand by sharp vision? That wall, somewhere there a spider is moving. And I am standing here and I tell you, see there, spider, there, exactly there. And you are all shocked. Hey, Guru, kannu, drushti chanagide anta. Or people who are 75, 78, they don't wear specs. Fine? ಈಗಲ್ಲ ನಾವು ಚಿಕ್ಕ ಮಕ್ಕಳು ಹಾಕ್ಕೊಂತೀವಿ. I am talking of 75, 78, they come to our clinic. They have not done any cataract surgery ಅಲ್ಲ. ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ನನಗೆ ಪೊರೆನೇ ಬಂದಿಲ್ಲ, ದೃಷ್ಟಿ ಇವತ್ತಿಗೂ ಸೂಪರ್. Fine? There we use the symptom vision sharp. What is sharp in Synchona? Smell. Good smell, bad smell. ನಿಮ್ಮ ಗ್ರೂಪಲ್ಲಿ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಸ್ಮೆಲ್ ಯಾರಿಗೆ ಬರುತ್ತೆ? ಸಾರ್, ಐ ಆಮ್ Synchona ನನಗೆ. ಸೊ Synchona people get smell fast, sharp smell. Am I clear? So ಮೂಗಲ್ಲಿ you will be remembering 4 things. This is what I meant. This already one of your friend covered. 4 things you will be remembering. ಒಂದೇನೋ ಇದು ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್. there is bleeding. Now the next point, what is it? Bleeding ಅಲ್ಲಿ next point ಏನು? ವೆರಿ ಗುಡ್. ಹೆಮೋರೇಜ್ ಹೆಂಗಿರುತ್ತೆ? ಕಲರ್ ಅಲ್ಲ. ಯಾವ ಕಲರ್? ಯಾರ ಕಲರ್ ಅಂತ? ಸಿ, ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಡಾರ್ಕ್. ಸೊ ಮೂಗಿಂದ ಬರೋ ರಕ್ತ Synchonaದಲ್ಲಿ ಡಾರ್ಕ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಯು ಗೆಟ್ ಮೈ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್? ನಾಳೆ ಯಾರೋ ಬಂದರು, ಬ್ರೈಟ್ ರೆಡ್ ಬಂತು ಅವ್ನ ಮೂಗೆ, ಅವನಿಗೆ Synchona ಕೊಟ್ಟಾಗ Synchona ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡುತ್ತಾ? ಯಾಕೆ? ದೇರ್ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಬ್ರೈಟ್ ರೆಡ್, ಹಿಯರ್ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಡಾರ್ಕ್. ಸೊ ಡಾರ್ಕ್ ಇದ್ದಾಗ ಮಾತ್ರ ಸಿಂಕೋನ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ. And that's the thing you as youngsters should realize. Only if your homeopathic remedy is correct, your matching is perfect, only and only and only, ಎಷ್ಟು only ಹಾಕ್ಕೊಂಡ್ಲಿ, only then your homeopathic remedy will work. Otherwise your homeopathic remedy will not work. You getting my point? This is something all of you should be very clear in second year. If our remedies, or if the remedy that you are giving is only correct, only then it will work. Otherwise it will not work. Okay? So ಮೂಗಲ್ಲಿ ಡಾರ್ಕ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್, ಅಬ್ಸಲ್ಯೂಟ್ಲಿ ರೈಟ್. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ somebody said headache from checked coryza, and we spoke something to do with smell, and that is acute, sharp smell. Okay? We'll go ahead. Any questions at this stage? Yeah, ಕೇಳೋದಿದೆಯಾ? Yes or no? Okay, chalo. We'll go ahead. Now this is what one of your friend was trying to tell, no? Yes, trigeminal neuralgia. Now you know neuralgia, wherever neuralgia comes, China important, you know? Periodicity. Any pains in China will have periodicity. That is what, again, you should be very clear with. Not only trigeminal neuralgia, yeah, face, somebody, we already spoke of face, rightly said. Neuralgia. See, another area is mouth. What do you expect in mouth again? ಆಯಿತು, ಫೇಸ್ ಅದು ನಾನು ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇರೋದು ಒಳಗಡೆ. ಎಸ್, ಗುಡ್. ಬ್ಲೀಡಿಂಗ್ ಕಮ್ಸ್. ಯಾಕೆ ಬ್ಲೀಡಿಂಗ್ ಬಂತು ನಿಮ್ಮ ಮನಸ್ಸಿಗೆ? ಈಗ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ಮೆಟೀರಿಯಲ್ ಮೆಡಿಕಾ. ಸೊ ವೇರ್ ಎವರ್ ದೆರ್ ಇಸ್ ಪಾಸಿಬಿಲಿಟಿ ಆಫ್ ಹೆಮರೇಜ್ ಹಾಕ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಹೆಮರೇಜ್ ಏನು ಬರೀತೀರಾ? ಒಂದು ಕಾಮ್ ಆಗಿಬಿಟ್ಟು ಡಾರ್ಕ್, ಅದು ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್. ಸೊ ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಗಮ್ ಬ್ಲೀಡು, ಎಸ್, ಡಾರ್ಕ್, ಫೈನ್. See, not only hemorrhages, it's also a very good remedy for toothache. Can somebody guess the modalities of toothache in Synchona? Very good. More than cold. Something beyond. Something beyond. Good. Tea. Another? Good. Toothache, better by touch. Sorry, aggravation touch. For example, you have the toothache, your tongue, you touch with your tongue. You'll know once you just go around and you touch. The moment you touch that area where you have pain increases. Now what ameliorates? Pressure, yaar pressure, yen pressure. More than tongue pressure, more than hand. See, like pressing the teeth together. Hal novide, fine. As somebody was trying to tell, tongue ನೀವು ಅಷ್ಟು ಪ್ರೆಷರ್ ಹಾಕೋಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲ, because in Synchona it is hard pressure. You can either put your finger, or the best option Synchona person has is he will press his teeth together, tight, press ಮಾಡ್ತಾನೆ, then they feel better. So toothache aggravation touch, right, and it is ameliorated by pressing the teeth together. Indirectly it is hard pressure. Okay? Must be written, yeah, that's what I have written. Toothache, aggravation touch, pressure, ಒಂದು ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಮಾರ್ಕ್ ಹಾಕಿದ್ದೀನಿ. ಏನಂಗಂದ್ರೆ ಅಂತ, ಏನಂದರೆ pressing the teeth together. Okay? We'll stop. Because next class I'll talk of a very important point in Synchona. That will be the GI. We have covered till mouth. Next class we'll explore. We'll go down, we'll see what will happen in the stomach, the GI, entire GI. Then of course you also have male female genitalia, and the last area will be fever. Okay? So that we'll try to cover in the next class. Any questions? Yeah, ಕೇಳೋದಿದೆಯಾ ಹುಡುಗರು? Clear? Okay? So what did we do today? We spoke of Synchona mind. We also spoke of Synchona particulars. We started with particulars. We spoke of head, we spoke of eyes, ears, nose, mouth. I'll stop here so that you get some breathing space, you go back home, read, come back, and next we'll try to end with Synchona. I'll try to tell you the other particular symptoms of Synchona. Chalo, thank you.